friends, I'm Linda Ballantyne, and I was the voice of Sailor Moon. Just like that. Well, I had seen it, certainly on TV, because I was the third voice of Sailor Moon. So, Tracy Moore had already done it, and then Terry Hawks had done it, and then Terry was pregnant with twins. Thank you, God, for giving Terry twins. Thank you so much. So there was an audition process, and I had already seen it on TV because my nieces were the perfect age for Sailor Moon, and I would go and babysit them, and they would have Sailor Moon going in the background, and they're like, what is this? What are you guys watching? Come on, what do kids today watch? Oh, I could do that voice. And then I'd walk around, you know, going, oh, and they'd be like, shut up, Aunt Linda. I went to the audition, and of course, you know, half the actors in Toronto were there wanting to audition for this. And I knew that I could do it. I'm a mimic. I can do that kind of stuff, no problem. Although her voice is definitely higher than mine. But that particular day, I was sick as a dog. I have not been that sick in a very long time. And I walked into the room, and I'm going, I have no voice. Everything was just right up here, and I was going, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can do this. I know I can do this, but I'm so sick, I don't know if I can muster. And when they called me in, I thought, oh God, I'm never going to get any kind of voice out. I don't know what I'm going to do. But somehow I managed to get up on top of it. And it actually kind of worked to my advantage because Terry's voice is naturally much more nasal in a way. Like the sound sort of comes from this area. So that was there naturally for me because my nose was so stuffed up. So I was sort of, you know, like up there a little bit more, and then, you know, I've sort of got to find it more. And they played me Terry's voice speaking, doing Sailor Moon, and then I had to do the exact same line. And so all I had to do was mimic her. They played it, I just do it. I know that when Terry goes up on this word, I go up on that word. And I hear it and I go, click, okay, no problem. And I could imitate her, no problem. Then I got the part. It was like, what? I got it, yeah! And then I go into the studio and suddenly I don't have Terry's voice telling me how to do the line. And I'm like, oh, what did she sound like again? And this is before the day of the internet. So I couldn't just sit at home and listen to episodes and episodes and go, okay, how does she sound again? I'd be sitting at home going, I have no idea how this character sounds. What am I doing? I don't know. Oh my God. I go in there and they give me one line. They'd say, okay, this is what she sounds like. And I go, okay, I got it. And then I'd have to do it again. And it was very confusing. My brain was in overdrive because, you know, on the one hand, you've got the lines that they want you to say, but they want you to say it like her, but you also want to make it your own kind of. And you've got to try and find how to do these lines. How would Terry do it? Oh my God, it was very, very, very confusing. I just have to own this now and make this the character that I need it to be. What is this character to me? And for me, Sailor Moon was goofy. She's a goofy teenage girl who just is stumbling through life, kind of. And she's lucky because she's got these friends that are like this. And that's what I had to find. It was terrifying. It was terrifying because, again, Terry had done such a great job. And to me, Terry was Sailor Moon. That's all there is to it. So when I'm doing her, and I know that I'm not exactly like her. I know that. Like I said, I had to make it my own. And it wasn't until last year, quite frankly, when I went to a convention in Toronto called Anime North. And a fan had said to me, you know, will you go, will you go, will you go? And I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll go. And when I went there and was received with such open arms and with such love that I went, oh, I was Sailor Moon. I was Sailor Moon too. Terry was too, and I was too. And that was really the first time that I actually accepted it. And I tell you to this day, every time I go to a convention and people are like, oh, thank you so much for coming, I am gobsmacked because it honestly, it still humbles me. It's remarkable, and it's very difficult for me to wrap my mind around that at all. Like, I'm just going, really? Okay, yes, I was Sailor Moon. I was Sailor Moon. Well, getting to that point when I said I have to make this my own was certainly the toughest because I was doing a lot of screaming, a lot of screaming, and they kept going, too old, make her younger, too old. And for them being too old, I had to scream more. They wanted me, so every line I felt like I was screaming. It drove me insane. But the hardest part of doing the show in general was when she transformed, when she'd say, you know, I'm Sailor Moon and I will punish you in the name of the moon. That was really hard because it's in a higher register and I had to really push those words out, and I was constantly losing my voice because I was just voicing so much then and doing so much screaming. So when I get to that point, it would just be like, oh, okay, Linda, you're gonna get this. I'm Sailor Moon! No, I'm Sailor Moon and I shall punish you! And I had to just really push it out. And I swear my veins were probably just like boom, boom, boom the whole time in my neck. I think I'd like to go back and see the very, very beginning again. I'd like to see all of Tracy's ones that she did and just watch it right from the start. And I haven't, because I'm an idiot. No, I haven't done that. And I think I wanted to start from the beginning and just go slowly through it. Somebody said to me, you know, if you were to voice the next one that's coming up, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be done here in the States. They said, what would you do differently? Or what would you do to prepare? And I said, I would watch the whole thing from start to finish and really get into all the storylines. Because we just didn't get that when we were doing it. We would just get one line that we would throw out there and then they'd fast forward to the next scene. We didn't have any scripts or anything like that. We didn't get to follow the storyline. So there would be times that I would be sitting there voicing it and watching the words go in front of me and saying the words, but also they've got it on screen and I'd be watching it as well, saying my lines and watching what was happening, and then I just get caught up in the storyline and go, and they'd say, Linda, that was your line. Oh, sorry. Oh, you want to see it all. You want to do it too, right? I want to be there. I want to get married. I want to get married. I want to have the whole thing. I want the dress. No, I want closure. I want closure. I mean, although it always made me laugh because, you know, she'd be like falling over backwards for Darian. He would just treat her like crap half the time. And I was always like, come on, you know, in the future you marry him. Let him go. If you love someone, let them go. They'll come back as the prince you need them to be.
Right.
About it, we know nothing. Nothing. John Stalker said yesterday, oh, something just came down the pipe, and I was sort of looking at him going, really? Do you really know this? Because there's been so many rumors about it, and we just, all we can do is go, nobody is talking. I think it was all ownership. I think that something happened that it was just all ownership and everything just crumbled. Their faces go together like this with hearts everywhere. Ooh, ah, no, yeah. I so wish. I wish that they could go back and just redo it and do it properly, the way it should be, because North America just was not ready for it. And I think that they were probably so afraid of what would happen if they actually did that, that they didn't want to alienate anybody. They didn't want to destroy the show as far as they were concerned. You know, like, oh, we're going to lose viewers if we do this. And it's like, now we need it. We need it. It's a different world, and it would be fantastic to do. If Katie Griffin were sitting beside me right now, and I said, I really liked Mars, because I loved how, quite frankly, evil she was. I loved the fighting that they had back and forth and how mean she could be, but she also totally had her back. I love Jupiter too. I love that spunky, that, come on guys, you know, like, just that sort of tomboy that she had in her. I like the fire, the Mars fire. Yeah, Mars fire. I don't get to see a lot of them though. Like, I don't get to see Stephanie Morgenstern. She's pretty darn busy. That girl is incredible. She's a creator of the TV show Flash, and she's huge, and she's got 2 shows. I think they're coming out right now, but I don't even know what they're called. But she's huge now. I remember voicing a cartoon called Yin Yang Yos for Disney, and she was Yin in it. And we'd come in and we were doing an ensemble record, and I'd say, so how's it been going? And she's like, oh, this is good. You know, I came up with this idea. My husband and I came up with this idea for this show. You know, it's about the, you know, I can't even think what they're called. Snipers, not snipers, the SWAT team basically. And she's telling me what it's about. I'm like, oh, really? That sounds really cool. And she's, yeah. Then, you know, the next week she'd come in, I'd be like, so how's the show going? You know, you still writing? You still hoping to pitch it? She goes, actually, yeah, I just pitched it to NBC. I'm like, NBC is pretty big, I think. I think it's pretty big. And she's like, yeah, it's kind of cool. And then it was, yeah, NBC and CTV are both gonna air it as this co-pro thing. And they're letting me do whatever I want. They're even letting me film it in Toronto and proudly say, this is Toronto. And I'm like, what? And then it just went nuts. If you think that voice acting is a fun job, it really is. It's the best job in the world. Oh my God. You will hear no a lot more than you're going to hear the word yes, like a lot. I've been so lucky in my life. I have worked as a voice actor for, I don't know, 17, 18 years, something like that. And I've been so lucky. I've got great parts. I work quite often. But I hear no so often, and you have to have the thickest skin, and there are times that you will not believe in yourself. There are many times that I haven't believed in myself. And if you have somebody in your life who does believe in you, that will carry you. And you have to just trust them. You have to trust the words that come out of their mouths. And you have to have somebody that you can trust. So when they say to you, you know, that part wasn't for you. But it was, like, I know that part, I should have been that part, I don't know why I didn't get it. And they're like, if it was, my husband, his big words always are, if it's for you, it won't go by you. And I go, I guess it wasn't for me, okay. And sometimes those are really hard to let go of, and sometimes it really does drag you down. And if you get to a point when you feel that you just can't get up anymore, that you've been pushed down so far that you can't get up, it's okay to walk away and say, I gave it my best shot. I tried, and it's not for me because I don't want to feel like that anymore. And I've been very close to getting to that stage, going, oh, but I'm also lucky because I've had parts like Sailor Moon and things like that that I can go, no, I can do this. I do this. Get back up, stand on your feet and go back in. You're starting all over. The voice acting pool used to be tiny. Whenever I'd go to an audition, I would see all the same people there. And it was just this little tiny handful of people, and you know, we'd almost say, don't tell anybody. I'm finding in Toronto anyways, it's really opened up. I'm sure that the internet has something to do with it because people can they can put their stuff out there just like that. But yeah, definitely being in the right city would help.